Everyone, whoever come to my restaurant, I treat them as my family. That's why restaurant design also a bit like home. I have a very good experience in Japan always. All the chefs are very sincere and then they are really focused and passionate at what they are doing. So I also try to talk to every customer every day. At least try to introduce myself because they come here to try my food. I think it's my effort to talk to one by one. Hi, I'm Louis Han, chef founder of restaurant Gangnam in Singapore. Gangnam serves contemporary Seoul cuisine. The meaning in Korea is fragrance that evokes your memories. So all of our menu are based on episodes that I want to share from my memory. My memory of the mountain, my memory of the sea, my memory of watching sunset, having barbecue in front of my home. I play with the Korean flavor, but use Western techniques. All the Singapore diners are actually traveling a lot. They try typical Korean food in Korea and Japanese food in Japan, French food in France. So they have a very good standard of the originality. Most of them say very hard to find this flavor and this kind of food in Korea. One of our signature dishes is the memirmyeon, which is a Korean style buckwheat noodle. The combination that I use is very Korean flavor. But actually I also never tried this flavor in Korea before. Even Koreans come and they say it's very familiar yet never tried before. Today all the dishes I made come from episode 6. After work hideaway. So now I'm talking about the Korean culture that after work we always go out gathering and enjoy with the friends and distress for the day. First dish I cooked was raw ocean trout. We slice very thinly and season evenly with kombu powders and salt, pepper, some citrus like sometimes lemon, sometimes yuzu, sometimes lime. We roll it, we very slowly cook in the water because texture will be softened, give a good mouth taste. And we wrap with zucchini. The zucchini you cook into the dashi broth, so it's gonna take the umami and crunch taste. The sauce we made of chili, garlic, ginger, and shallot, chive, Korean chili paste, and vinegar give umami and complex flavor to the fish. Etc. caviar. Also have a yuzu juice, coconut palette. It's very appetizing. And sometimes the big mandolin we use zucchini is like tilt. Some size is big, sometimes small. But this one was very consistently one size. I was very impressed that blade is very sharp and then no matter what strength I use, it's come out same. Yeah, it was very awesome. I mean, never trained the Korean food before. I never learned before. I only see how my mom cook, how my grandmother cook, and then I catch up that. Mostly my chefs are all like French or Italian, mostly European cuisine that I learned. Very happy the dishes are actually nowhere can find, only can see in our restaurant. And the second one we cook quite traditional dish, gamjajeon with the yukkae. Yukkae is like Korean style beef tartar, and the gamjajeon is the Korean style potato pancake. So potato pancake we make very traditional way, and we cut, and then the beef tartar we marinate with the bulgogi sauce. One of most popular Korean marination. And after the bottom, we put some pickled bell pepper. It gives more hint of sour and slightly spicy taste to the beef, so it's gonna balance it out. The grater, they have a lot of options to use. When I make the pancake, I wanted to cut julienne. Actually, they can slice both ways. Once go down, once go up. Actually, they save a lot of time and give a convenience. And blade also very sharp. It's very safe, very consistent. Everything is same size and same thing. Yes. Third dish that I cooked today was the sashimi dish. I inspired from the Korean fresh marinated sashimi. I make the vegetable salsa. It's very typically used for Korean salad, so which is onion, minari, which is Korean water parsley, catnip, which is a stella leaf, leek cucumber. Then one I make into the salsa, hamachi, which is a yellowtail with slice. Inside we put some minari, which is the water parsley, because that one is very fragrant and we always eat with fresh seafood. Also have a texture, it's very crunchy taste. Then daikon we cure into the salt water, and after that thinly spread up, put some flowers to make it more floral. And daikon itself is very sweet and sometimes have spicy. It's good combination with seafood. And add some etc. caviar, goat leaf or garnish. And sauce is actually made of the lemon and soy sauce. So it's citrus and umami, and it's gonna balance it out all the fishness from the fish, so it bring up more appetite. The knife was actually very sharp and very good to hold because they have a wedges and the handle and everything was quite comfortable. The size is just nice to use. The blade also very gorgeous. It's very unique colors and everything. Yeah. My mom is working mom. Only like Sunday she cook for me some like simple Korean food, some noodles or some kimchi stew. Actually, I made our signature noodle based on my memory of having the noodle from my mom. Even though now when I go back to home, I ask my mom to cook the dish. Mostly my grandmother and my auntie cook for me. The only child, only guy in my family. Always cook the things that I wanna eat. Whenever I go back to Korea, first thing is eat my grandmother food. Next dish that I do was Abalon. The inspiration comes from the traditional marinated jelly. Also, we eat a lot of akon jelly, the mungli jelly, but this one is our own version to make. The bottom we put some pineapple cream, so nuttiness, and we add some vinegar to cut down the fatness also. And some chive oil for the flavor. And then the beef and spring onion we sauteed together with sweet soy sauce. And then we put the pickle nori, so that gives the very umami and seafood taste. And then we put braised Korean abalone. So Korean abalone we dusted with seaweed powder. And then we put some nasartium and coriander flour to give more flavor. Once they eat all together, these flavors are well blending and very balanced. Yeah. The fourth dish that I cooked was fried turbot. I was actually thinking about fish and chips and then thinking about the different way. I tried to make very Korean because Korean food also influenced from some Chinese flavor. When we eat the fried food, sometimes we also eat with sweet sour sauce. Turbot we actually brine with kombu, and the meat is more firm and equal seasoned. We make the very lighter dough. We deep fry, and then we make one parsnip puree and one roasted bell pepper. So parsnip puree gives the sweetness and like saltiness, and roasted bell pepper have a garlic and ton of spiciness, and have a grilled sweet cabbage for the textures and the great flavor. And then the sauce we made of the fermented bean and vinegar, soy sauce, fermented fungus, and garlic. So naturally come from the smokiness and sweetness, sourness come from the ingredients. So it gives like very complex taste. Meat itself is very plain deep fried fish, but they have a lot of components to enjoy separately. Yeah. Now restaurant name going to be 3 years. I mean now 2 years and 7 months. Yeah. I try to be here every time, even 5 years, 10 years later, people still can come here and they remember I'm here always. And set aside, we try to open some casual restaurant so many people can enjoy my food. Yeah. The first dessert I cooked was apple. Bottom we put the fromage blanc cream, and after that have braised apple. We braise with lemon and ginger, sugar, syrup. After that we add some winter melon pickle and honeycomb, give us sweetness and the texture. Sorbet we make with the shiso and apple, give very good refreshness and very herby taste. And then we slice some fresh apple to like give more freshness. Last dessert I was cooked one of our signature dishes. So we make the two type of cream. So bottom we have one is a jujube, which is Korean red dates, truffle to make the cream. The other one is the major dates, which is Arabic dates to make the pastry cream. Pastry cream give more richness, and then the jujube truffle cream give more flavors. After that we make the Korean style waffle, and then it's the crunchiness. We shape some winter black truffle give strong truffle notes. Sorbet we made of the white chocolate, like sweet and not that overly sweet, light, balanced. Everything eat together is very savory yet very sweet. Yeah, that's all the things that I cooked today. The Michel utensil equipment is very nice. I will have some too. If any of you have a chance to visit Singapore, please visit our restaurant so I can share my memory to you guys. Thank you.